Welcome to Johor! Hey, this doesn't look like Johor, does it? And what's that? Hey, that's my homeland, that's Singapore. So where am I? Well, I'm not exactly in Johor Bahru city, that's the main town of Johor. I'm actually at Iskandar Puteri, which is a whole new township towards the west side of Singapore near the second link, Tuas Link. And behind me is the Johor Strait that separates Johor and Singapore, and it leads up to Puteri Harbour. In today's video, we're going to explore retirement in Johor, and specifically the south side of Johor near Singapore, Johor Bahru City, as well as Iskandar Puteri Bukit Indah area. In Johor Bahru City, there's a lot of happenings, especially at night. It's like the city that never sleeps, and a lot of shopping, a lot of food, and a lot of people. And towards the other side, Iskandar Puteri, you have a quieter area, very big spaces, golf courses, as plenty of greenery and relaxation areas. And just like many of our other retirement videos, we'll show you the real cost on the ground, whether it's food, groceries, shopping, accommodation, all the essentials that you need to be a retiree here in Johor. Hi everyone, just a quick introduction. I'm John from the Corporate Breakout couple. My wife, friend and I retired young at the age of 40 in 2020. And we've been traveling around the world since 2022 when we moved over from Singapore to Penang. And we love to go to different retirement destinations to check it out. And for today's video, we'll be covering Johor. Before we continue, we appreciate it if you like this video and subscribe to our channel to join our YouTube family.
Food, glorious food. Johor is the 5th largest state in Malaysia, and therefore, you know what that means? It means there's a lot of variety of food in Johor for you to choose from. As with the rest of Malaysia, Johor offers food from all races, Chinese, Indian, Malay and Western. You can enjoy the local cuisine in the local coffee shops, open air restaurants and other air-conditioned restaurants as well. And of course, if you head to the malls, you can find lots of other varieties of food ranging from cafes and restaurant food.
Here's an interesting food joint for you to check out if you're in the heart of Johor Bahru City. They serve authentic Hainanese delicacies as well as local eats. You can come here for breakfast, brunch or lunch, and they have a huge selection of food offerings for you to choose from, which typically ranges from 10 to 20 ringgit per dish. Welcome to restaurant Hua Mui, a Hainanese restaurant since 1946. This is very popular among the locals, and we are here for breakfast today. I'm having that classic Hainanese chicken chop. Just look at that, very simple but very elegantly done dish with that Hainanese kopi, a must. So if you're here to eat breakfast, you have many different choices. You have Hainanese kambing soup, which is also popular among the people around here. You also have noodle dishes, you also have bread dishes, and for today's hearty breakfast, it will cost me 23 ringgit. Welcome to JB Ameng, which is a very famous local Chinese restaurant, both with the Johorians and the Singaporeans as well. I've been here many times, 8-10 years ago when my Johorian friend always bring me here to eat. Apparently, this is the original one and not the ones that you see in Singapore, in the Geylang area if you're familiar with Singapore. And some of their specialties, like the dry fried bee hoon you see over there, very good. Eat it together with sambal, and some of the seafood and vegetable dishes. Well, because JB Ameng is right next to the causeway, so there are many Singaporean cars parked around here and many Singaporeans here to unwind after work. And this is the famous dry fried bee hoon, and you must eat it with their chili, their sambal. And this is the dried fried fish fillet, very aromatic. We can see the curry leaves adding to the flavor. And this one is a fermented bean curd fried pork. And a dish like this, or rather a dinner for two, costs you roughly between 80 to 100 ringgit.
What in the world are we doing here in this industrial area full of factories? Aha! I'm here for my tiramisu and my coffee. That's right, this is a cafe. Come on! JWC is a specialty coffee cafe and very popular for its chill, industrial, casual ambience. This is our absolute favorite tiramisu, and one piece is RM 1950 before GST and taxes. Specialty concept cafes in JB are very, very popular, and actually JWC has been around for years. So we've been coming here quite a few times before COVID hit. Their normal coffees range from 12 ringgit to 20 ringgit per cup, and what they're actually known for are actually their handcraft specialty coffees, and those range from 25 to 35 ringgit, all before tax and GST. Look what I have! This is Zeus Coffee, our favorite coffee outlet, and I'm drinking a new flavor. It's called Pepsi Cloud. So it's Pepsi, coffee, and some vanilla cream on top. So you mix it all together, and the taste is so yummy and so unique. So Malaysia, the beauty about Malaysia is that you've got different concepts, right? And Zeus is coming up to be a huge main contender in coffee in Malaysia. I think they've already over 200 outlets in Malaysia alone. When you see a queue in Singapore, you know the food is good. So it's the same in JB. So this is Hiap Ju, a very famous bakery, and they're very famous for its banana bread. So delicious.
Wow, this place brings back memories. I remember when I was working in the corporate sector, I like to take half days on Fridays and come into JB to chill with my Johorian friend. And then we will end up having some drinks, going some shopping, massages. And then the last stop before we go back will be at Mamak like this because they open until very late. So around 2-3 a.m. you'll find that this place is still very lively. You must come here and eat their roti canai, their Maggi goreng, you can have their satay, their tandoori chicken, and best of all, must have a teh tarik.
This is one of our favorite open-air seafood restaurants located at Bukit Indah. Why? Because the food is delicious, the atmosphere is very cheerful, the service is great and prompt, and the food is utterly delicious. This dinner, which we had with friends, comprising of 7 dishes, was 158 ringgit. You can find Aeon in most states in Malaysia, and JB is no different. So this is the Aeon supermarket, and they sell a lot of locally produced fruits and vegetables, which is great. That means it keeps the cost low. They also have international imports and whatnot, and you can get pretty much almost all your household and grocery needs all in this supermarket. Shopping in JB supermarkets is always a fun thing because it's always crowded with Singaporeans as they come over to lower their cost of grocery shopping.
The state of Johor is located in the southernmost point of Peninsular Malaysia, a very popular destination for many Malaysians from other states, and also a stopover on your way towards Singapore, which is next door. What I notice about Johor is there's many decentralized areas for entertainment and drinks, for example, for massages, for food, areas for shopping, and many golf courses which many Singaporeans like to hop over to indulge in. The traffic congestions typically happen during the peak hours when you want to get from one area to another area, let's say on the Tebrau Highway, on the EDL, let's say you want to get from Taman Sentosa to Permas Jaya, that's when the congestion will happen. In Malaysia, it's considered essential to own a vehicle, whether it's a car or a bike, for you to get around from point A to point B. In my previous video, Cost of Living in Penang Part 1, I did cover on Malaysian cars, which is the entry-level prices of cars in Malaysia, and you have plenty of choices. In today's video, I would like to cover on imported brands, specifically brands that's from Japan, Honda. So Honda City, which is a 1.5 liter car, is something that's very popular in Malaysia as well, with very good fuel efficiency and plenty of space. So what are the prices like, you may ask? So let's check it out. So for the different permutations, you're looking at retail price without insurance around 85,000 ringgit, 90,000 ringgit, 95,000 ringgit. So for 100,000 ringgit, you can get with everything in a really great car at a very affordable price that you can own for more than 10 years. What about Honda's competitor Toyota? For a like-for-like 1.5 liter model, which is new for Toyota Vios, also costs around 90,000 to around 100,000 ringgit, around the same price in Malaysia. Would you be interested in staying in a landed home like this? Guess how much is the rental? It could be as low as 2,000 to 3,000 ringgit per month. In Johor, you have plenty of property options to rent. Whether it's a landed house like this, whether it's a condominiums with full facilities, they have it all. Here are some residential areas for consideration. If you want to stay near or in the heart of JB City, you have your Taman Pelangi, Taman Sentosa, which is very near KSL Mall, or you can go slightly further north to Tabrau City, Taman Mount Austin, or you have the entire Iskandar area towards the south side of Johor. Like this area, I'm near the Bukit Indah and the Iskandar Putri area. I'd like to share a little bit more about the Iskandar project. It was an initiative in 2006 to grow into an entire township, the old Nusa Jaya area, which is now called Iskandar Putri. And there's a lot of investors, especially from Singapore, that invested billions of dollars to grow this entire township with medical facilities, retirement homes for Singaporeans and also Johorians. There was also a huge development towards the southern side of Johor called Forest City, which unfortunately is rather unpopulated today. Well, as a property investor myself, without sounding too doom and gloom, I wouldn't suggest buying a property here in Johor, as there's a lot of developments that hasn't taken off. Instead, there are plenty of opportunities for you to rent at a really affordable or even below market price. And you really have the pick of the lot, whether you want to stay in a landed house or you want to stay in a condo with full facilities near the city centre, or even in a golf resort, you can. If you want to stay nearer to the city centre, you can consider places like this R&F Princess Cove, which is around 3,003 ringgit per month. This is right next to the causeway, very near to places like City Square and KSL Mall. Or maybe you want to go further inland to like Skudai area, or you can go to Tabrau City or Taman Mount Austin. Plenty of options for you to stay, like condominiums like this with full facilities when you want to stay near to Johor Bahru City. If you're someone who enjoys big open spaces, a more laid-back culture and lush greenery, you might want to consider Iskandar Putri area, like this one, a 3-bedroom, 3-bath terrace house. Check that out for 3,300 ringgit per month, about the same price as the condominiums at Johor Bahru City. And you have plenty of other options like this one, 2,500 only. It's partially furnished and 2-story terrace house. And other ones like this one, 3-bedroom, 4-bath for 3,500 at Nusa Jaya, which is essentially Iskandar Putri. And take note that these ones that you are looking over here are not in Forest City.
Welcome to City Square Mall, the mall that most Singaporeans love because it's right next to the causeway. If you're new to JB, not to worry, this is not the only mall. There are lots of malls in JB. For example, the ones near the causeway will be KSL and R&F Mall. And then you've got South Key Mid Valley, which is a mirror image to the one in KL. And then you also have Aeon Tabrau. So City Square Mall is very lively and there's a lot of people going in and out, and there's a lot of events happening. Like for example, right now it's a Mid-Autumn Festival, so we've got mooncake shops all being set up. Welcome to Aeon Tabrau. This is one of our favorite malls to go to because it's much bigger than City Square and it's got everything that we need, especially bed sheets. We buy Canon brand bed sheets and it's a lot cheaper compared to Singapore because they always have discounts. 70%, 80% is quite insane. And to my right, we've got IKEA. So this IKEA is huge. And next to IKEA is another mall called Toppen. So, if you are retiring in JB, there is no lack of malls and you can walk all day long in the different malls. So it's actually really great, right? You can get your furnishings, you can get your electronics, you can get your food. So life can be pretty good in JB.
For today's budget building segment, I'm going to do it slightly differently because Johor, Malaysia is right next to Singapore and there has been a lot of interest from Singaporeans who wish to retire in Johor. But don't worry if you're not familiar with Malaysia or Singapore because this budget applies to you as well. Therefore, the cost that I'm going to put in will be in ringgit, Malaysian ringgit, will be in US dollars and also Singapore dollars. And I'm costing for the monthly living expenses, which is both basic needs and wants together for one person who is one half of a couple, which means this one person will be having a shared resource such as a car and a house. It will be a Singaporean couple that will be retiring in Johor. And these are the budget highlights. This will be a comfortable lifestyle with some indulgences, so it will not be a budget conscious couple. And 50% of the food will be eating out and 50% of the food will be cooked at home. For transport, it will be a fully owned, fully paid Japanese branded car. For accommodation, it will be a rental of a 2-story terrace landed house. And the other expenses will include stuff like monthly road trips in Malaysia. Let's talk about food. For the Singaporean retiree, food will definitely be one of the indulgence. So 50% eating out and 50% eating at home. For the eating out days, 12 days will be eating at hawker food because Malaysian hawker food is just awesome and really affordable, especially for Singaporeans. And because this is an indulgence budget, 4 times a month going to a neighborhood open air restaurant. We call it zi cha here in this part of the world. And 8 times a month, which means 2 times a week going to cafes and like Western restaurants or Japanese restaurants. Here's a really generous budget for 3 full meals out at hawker stalls in Johor. 12 days of eating out, which includes breakfast 10 ringgit, lunch 12 ringgit, and dinner 15 ringgit, and 1 specialty coffee or tea, which can be locally branded like Tea Leaf or Zeus Coffee. And that amounts to 50 ringgit per day, very healthy budget. Eating out at hawker stalls, which is 11 USD and around 15 Sing dollars. And here's the total food expenses for the Singaporean retiree. 12 days of eating out at hawkers, that amounts to 600 ringgit. 15 days of eating at home, roughly around 40 ringgit per day for 1 person, multiplied by 15, that will be 600 ringgit. 4 times a month eating at neighborhood zi cha restaurants, that amounts to 120 ringgit. 8 times for cafes and restaurants, that will be 480 ringgit, bringing to a total of 1,800 ringgit per month, around 383 USD and 530 Sing dollars. Note that of course you can mix and match the different categories, and this roughly balances out for a 1,008 ringgit budget. Here's the cost breakdown for the transport category. Now, if you're familiar with Singapore, you know that the cost of owning a private car is really expensive, and you can only drive it for 10 years. On the other hand, if you hop over to Johor, Malaysia, and you own a car in Malaysia, it will cost you a fraction of a price. So for example, if you buy a Honda City or Toyota Vios, roughly around 100,000 ringgit, that is maybe around 20% of the cost of what it will cost to own in Singapore, and you can own it more than 10 years. And you know what's really awesome? The cost of maintaining the car, the petrol and all that is really affordable in Malaysia as well. So you can see for a fully paid car in Malaysia, the running cost is really low because the petrol is subsidized and really kept low. So you are paying around for 5 pumps, 154 ringgit divided by 2 because the couple is sharing it, and that's really low. And for road tax, car maintenance, insurance, parking divided by, let's say 1 year divided by 12 months is roughly around 300 ringgit for the couple and 150 for 1 person. And that only amounts to 304 ringgit per month, around 65 USD and 90 Sing dollars. For accommodation, this Singaporean retiree will be renting a huge 2-story landed house, a terrace house in Iskandar Putri, and that is around 3,500 ringgit per month, and divided by 2, that will be 1,750. For shared resources such as utilities, it will be half, around 100 ringgit. For internet, take note that internet can be pretty expensive. For the higher bandwidth, well, definitely more expensive than Singapore, is 240 ringgit per month divided by 2, that will be 120 ringgit. For personal handphone, that is around 80 ringgit. This amounts to a total of 2,050 ringgit per month, roughly around 436 USD and 603 Sing dollars. Here's the cost breakdown for the healthcare category. Take note there's no insurance costed here, so therefore the amount is out of this budget and costed separately for this Singaporean retiree. So for doctor's visit, it's costed in for 4 times a year, roughly around 240. 2 times dental visit a year for general cleaning, 300 per year. That divided by 12 will be around 45 ringgit per month, 10 USD and 14 Sing dollars. Here's the consolidated total for the monthly living expenses for the Singaporean retiree. Remember, it's for 1 person. For food, it's 1,008 ringgit. For household items like your shampoo, your toothpaste and all that, 100 ringgit. For transport, remember it's shared by the couple. For 1 person, it's 304 ringgit. For accommodation, also shared by the couple. For 1 person is 2,050. For medical is 45 ringgit, and other expenses as well, like your wants, your attractions. You can go 1 to 2 times a month, 1 road trip a month to the other Malaysian state. So that will be around 2,000 ringgit for 1 person, really generous with that, and that amounts to a total of 6,299 ringgit per month, which is 1,340 USD and around 1,853 Sing dollars. Take note that that these are the items that's not catered, the price of the vehicle that I mentioned to you earlier, the medical insurance for your own country, and traveling back to your home country or going to other countries for travel for leisure that's not covered under this budget. At the start of this budget building segment, I did qualify that this budget is not for a budget conscious person. And if you want to be budget conscious, you can easily shave off 30 to even up to 50% of this budget. But as what we Singaporeans love to say, we like to move over to JB to live like a king or a queen. For this same amount of Sing dollars, we get the best bang for our buck. And not to worry whether you're a Singaporean or foreigner for another country, you get to enjoy Malaysia, especially in Johor, for a really comfortable lifestyle with indulgences like having your own car, renting a huge 2-story house, and having other attractions for you to enjoy, road trips around Malaysia with a very healthy budget within this amount. And there you have it, retirement in a nutshell in beautiful Johor. We hope we have given you great insights to this place, especially for your considerations to retire here. Johor offers plenty as a retirement venue, whether you want the city life, the vibes in Johor Bahru City, or you want to go over to Iskandar side to experience a bigger area, lush greenery, golf courses, you can go there as well. Do check out our other retirement videos in other countries or in Malaysia as well. We have places like Ipoh, KL, Penang, Malacca, plenty of retirement venues for you to choose from. We hope you have enjoyed this video. Do hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel to join our YouTube family. See you in the next video.